Okay. Bo will give you the wave when we're ready to go.
Give it the wave.
Wendy's coming, but not here yet, but we'll go ahead and get started. Stay up time. And just a reminder, everybody, which I failed to do myself, don't forget to silence your phones or devices. I had one go off, or my phone went off right in the middle of the budget and finance meeting this morning, much to my embarrassment.
Call to order the meeting for the Heritage Commission. It is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, at 6 p.m. Roll call.
And Commissioner Sampson?
I'm here.
And Commissioner Glenn?
Here.
Chairwoman Murphy?
Here.
And Commissioner Willis?
Here.
And Commissioner Kersey is not available today, but Madam Chair, you do have a quorum if you need to vote.
Thank you. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first thing on our agenda is the approval of the minutes, but we will move them to a little bit later in our meeting. We're going to start with old business. And we did a Christmas wreath project, and we did the debrief on November. But in January, we went and picked up all the wreaths. And they have now been stored over in the new Public Works building. Is that like technically off of Sunrise? Do you see?
Yes.
Okay.
Sunrise
And
Boulevard?
Sunrise, that's where that's located. And we have a couple other wreath hangers to pick up. I do have a receipt that I will remind somebody to give Wendy the receipt for some of the wreath hangers. We needed additional hangers when we were putting out the wreaths, and so we ordered those on Amazon just to get them quickly in, and that was a charge of $48.06. I've completed the order form and have the receipt here, and I can give that to Wendy when she comes in.
Go ahead, take it, we can keep it here with all the
Okay.
things.
There we go. Okay, next item on the agenda is our inventory project. I have not completed the debrief yet, but I will get that done before our next meeting. That project is an ongoing project. We're trying to have an inventory of where everything is currently located and then move everything that needs to be into air-conditioned storage. So I went over to the Welcome Center and did all of the inventory items there. We also took photos. Prior to going to the Welcome Center, I watched a 2-hour tutorial on inventory systems put out by the National Historic Society that does inventory and where to start, and best practices. And then I met with Vichy Gary and her assistant Amanda over in Green Cove Springs and showed them the format and inventory sheet that I was going to use, because the one that is used nationally is really too complicated for what we need at this juncture. We also took photos of every single item, and then everyone sent me, has everyone sent me the photos that they took? Did you take it? Okay.
I took them.
Yeah, okay, so I have photos of all of the items. So eventually, when we create a database, that inventory item number will go into the database along with a photo, and then we will start to be able to track, oh, well, where would we find, say, a banner for our Chautauqua event? oh, look, it's right here, it's located in this spot. Hopefully we will have, in the meantime, a museum, but we'll still need to have a database, and know what we do have, and where it's located. That's the key. So we went to the air-conditioned storage unit and started going through all of the bins. It was freezing cold that morning, but we did manage. And we went through everything in the air-conditioned storage unit. We now know what's there. We have found amazing things. One is that there is a full mock-up of Fort 11, which looks like it's in there. I've never seen it before.
It used to be in our, we have a storage room here with a vault and all. And I think as part of our cleanup, maybe Wendy got it over there to y'all's facility. But the reason why many people haven't seen it has been back in the caverns in here.
Exactly. So that is one of the things that we will tag it, and then it will go to our Chautauqua event because it's amazing. I have never seen it. And so that's just the whole idea of this inventory project. So it is ongoing. We're trying to do maybe one quarterly, just depends on the time that we have. But it was a really good dent in.
No, I heard.
Yeah, and it was really helpful that we all just got together and did that. Next thing on the item is the Keystone Heights State Historical Marker. I've talked with several people, even those from other cities in Clay County, and they said that they are on an 18-month wait right now for their marker, and they've already submitted. So I think there's just a backlog, maybe from COVID through, I mean, it's still ongoing. So we just have to wait at this point. But I'll have a better update maybe next month. But I suspect it's going to be the same news, that we're just going to be waiting for that. The next item that we have is the Goldhead Branch State Park is having their Yesteryears Festival. That's upcoming. And we will need some items from Wendy for that. We're gonna need, I have a table and we'll each bring chairs. Kim and I are gonna go for sure to that.
Pop-up.
Kim has a pop-up tent. We'll need coffee, water, snacks. From the front desk area, we'll need the brochures, the Keystone Heights Heritage Commission brochures that are usually out in the lobby. I can print out an application for the plaques just to have those in case someone inquires about it. And then the old Tour of Homes brochures, if we have any of those already printed. Don't want to have to print more. I think we have enough laying around. 10 would be sufficient.
And you think those are here somewhere?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think they're here.
we'll check on it.
Right. In the storage unit, we found the trifold that we will need, so I just pulled that so we would have it. So it's at my house right now, along with all the other photos. I have an easel, we have banners, so everything has been moved that we're gonna need for Yesteryears to my house, so that we can just load it up in a week.
Do y'all need a city tablecloth?
That would be
Yeah.
excellent.
I'm not sure where, I know we have one. But
Okay.
I think that help y'all, so.
City tablecloth.
Coffee, water, snacks, you said.
I know.
How do you want to do that?
Just
I
bring
can
whatever.
I can bring a case of water and a small cooler.
Yeah, and I'll just bring whatever you want to have, because it's 9 to 3, it's,
All right,
It's a lot.
I'll get a case of water.
and then we have all the forms signed for all the volunteers. That's already done, because everyone that was going to attend was at the inventory event, so I just brought those forms, had everybody sign everything, so I have those ready to go. So I think we're in good shape for the Gold Head State Park. We've already completed the applications, I've talked to everyone there. There's no fee for the city, so it's just a matter of showing up and finding out where our location is.
And we did advertise on our Facebook page, if I remember correctly, the event as well already.
Okay.
And it's in the city calendar.
Yes.
Speaking of Facebook page, what is the status on?
It's set up. I thought I emailed you the login information, but I also emailed it to Lindy, so she has it. So
Okay,
we have
I don't-
login password.
Okay.
So if anything needs to be posted, I guess let me know. And then
Okay.
When you
Okay,
recorded
so-
that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, I
No.
apologize. I was just asking when we recorded that in one of our log books. So
It's
we-
on mine.
so we got, okay, so we'll get it for
Yes,
posterity.
it's set up, ready
Yes.
to go.
All right.
So I'll contact you, Wendy. Hi.
Mhm.
And, I'll figure out what we wanna do there. Also, I attended a roundtable, in Green Cove Springs, last week. Orange Park, Middleburg, Green Cove Springs, and Palaca were there. Was it Palaca? No, it's not Palaca. Everyone in Clay County. And they were saying, they had a speaker there and they talked about Facebook. And they said that we absolutely, the Heritage Commission needs to have an Instagram account.
I was just gonna mention that, you guys need to link up.
We
with
absolutely have to have an Instagram account. Everything has to go from Instagram and then download it to our Facebook page.
No, it's from
because-
Facebook to Instagram, you don't go the opposite direction.
They said to go the opposite direction,
You
but,
can't.
oh, okay.
Facebook to Instagram you can, Instagram to Facebook you can't.
Okay, I believe you.
It's easy to do.
Either way, they said that we need to capture both audiences. And even though the Instagram people are not normally the 25 to 35-year-olds are not normally our demographic, that are interested in old homes and historic preservation, they also, we do capture some. And so they said that once they started their Instagram, and don't get these numbers, I mean, I'm not saying them exactly, but they went from, say, 25 followers to 6,000 in 6 months.
That would be correct, no, that would be correct.
I mean, that's how crazy it was.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have the numbers exact, so, but they were saying it was that much of a jump. And so, would you be
Yeah.
interested in
I can
taking
set
on
it up.
that? Okay,
Sure.
great, thank you. Thanks so much, Kat.
One of my reels I did a long time ago, with the cabins at the Gold Head State Park, did phenomenal, I mean, really took off. So
Okay.
a lot of people actually like historic, like St. Augustine.
Right.
So I think they're gonna enjoy,
Right.
that's why Instagram does so well, cause it's all
Okay.
real based.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
we will
it's not just
definitely
a-
do something
Yeah,
out at Gold Head,
see if I can.
and then we'll
record
get you
something.
to post all that.
Sure.
Okay,
And
great.
I'll stop by too. So.
Oh, wonderful,
Yeah,
oh,
stop
good.
by So I can take pictures.
Yeah. I know that you said you received the t-shirts and order and all that.
I have them in my office.
Oh, great, okay, good. So we'll get those after our meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
You got it.
I went on to the Heritage Commission Board application, website and saw that our application has been updated. So that's good. And our plaque application has also been updated, so it does indicate a fee is on there now. The next item is the museum. And the thing with the museum, and we're really starting to do this with the Heritage Commission at this point, that there are 5 functions really of having a museum. And the first is collection, preservation, research, education, and exhibition. And we're really checking off all those boxes as the Heritage Commission, even prior to having a museum, because we're obviously collecting everything, we're doing an inventory of those items, so that we can preserve them in air-conditioned storage, the things that really need to be in air-conditioned storage. We are doing the research on all of those items that we are finding, such as Fort 11, for example. Education, we certainly are educating the public about Keystone Heights, and even with our 4th grade field trip program, we really do educate everyone in the elementary school. The parents and the teachers really look forward to that every year. And then exhibition, we are tackling that with our Chautauqua event. So as the Heritage Commission, we're really fulfilling every single thing that is required to have a museum. We're already putting in place prior to that, so that when we do have an actual brick and mortar, we are miles ahead. And about 2 weeks ago, I went out to the Flagler Museum and looked at their space. It wasn't much bigger than this room, maybe a little bit bigger. They said about 1,200 square feet, so maybe this in the lobby and front area there. And they said it took them 20 years to get to where they were. And so we're gonna be learning from everyone else and not having to start. We're gonna, fast track everything. And so once we do have a building, we will know and have learned from all of those other organizations and how they ran their museum. They had a little section for kids to color. They had a whole section for, calendars and t-shirts, and we could have t-shirts with the murals on the back of the t-shirt, or something that said Keystone Heights. We could sell caps, just a lot of, merchandise, as well as books and things to do around the area and the county. It just doesn't have to be Keystone, and become a welcome center as well as just the museum. So we can have those two things working together. And then they said one of the most important things that they have just incorporated this, was their lighting. They did not have the correct lighting for like 18 years. And so now we know, as an organization, as the Heritage Commission, that when we go to put in a museum, that lighting needs to be one of our top priorities, because museum lighting really did take them, they said, to the next level, and in having it look and present itself as a true museum. So we talked a lot about budget and how they came up with the cases and all of those things. So there's a lot of information that we can glean from other small towns that have museums, something that we are striving for, and we can learn from them. And so that's what we're in the process of doing as well. I was happy that we had the mayor with us, and she had really orchestrated that. And so it was a real good coming together, and we had a whole tour of their museum. And so they will be happy to answer questions that we have down the road. So it's gaining those kinds of contacts and those kind of interactions from, just the roundtable folks and the people that have museums in their cities already, so that we're not starting from scratch, that we're, learning before we even get to that point. On item J, under old business, is the Williams plaque that was delivered. I personally delivered the plaque to her, and it was wonderful, and we had a really good talk. She gave me a tour of her business, and she is in a historic home. And then from there, we talked a little bit about her being on a tour for the tour of homes. So very good and productive meeting with Miss Rebecca Williams.
Madam Chair, just real quick, and just a thought, as we continue to look at opportunities for Facebook and getting the message out, either Facebook, Instagram. If we do any more of those, maybe if we can get a photo of the presentation of the plaque or something like that, those homes. It'd be a great opportunity for us to share that. The city's site's got a little over 6,000 followers right now, just to continue to get the word out and, build support for the program.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah. We need to be taking a lot more photos, and then, I'll send everything that I do, I can send that to Kat, and she can make sure that happens, and then everyone, Jen, and, that's your job.
She does that without thinking.
Anything you can even think of, you can always text me and say, hey, I know you're going over here, don't forget to take some Facebook content, or, have some Facebook content, that we can send off to Kat, so, yeah. I asked Wendy, to give me an update on our budget from 24-25, so that we know where we stand for 25-26. And this is how much money we have spent last year. And this year, I see that a lot of things we will not have to spend money on, because we've already purchased the banners. We now have those, and they're in great condition, so we're not having to spend that money. I did notice though that a lot of the fees, the higher fees, were for printing. And that just goes without saying, because printing is one of those bigger expenses. The posters for Chautauqua, we won't have to redo, but we will need to do the tour of homes brochures again. And we will probably need to do more of the Andy the Whooping Crane for the 4th grade field trip. So just keeping that in mind, here's where our budget is, and do we have authorization to print more of those? Are we, since that was done, okay, all right. I just wanted to be sure.
We can double check with her, but she allowed us to do it for the Boone Boulevard.
Oh, okay, so we should
Oh, print
not
more of
have
the
an issue.
booklets?
Yeah,
Just gotta double check what we got the authority to print them for.
I think
We got
we-
multiple.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
we did.
I don't remember if it was for that event or if it was broad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably have something in writing, so that, we don't have to question ourselves.
Every time.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to do a new, Chautauqua ad for the project loader
Mm-hmm.
and the new flyers.
Right,
And then
the
photos.
other big expense too was on, the telegraph. There was a $500,
Yeah, for the Chautauqua ad.
Yeah, that was for the
Yeah.
Chautauqua.
It's
right.
right there.
and that to me seemed pretty expensive. What are your thoughts? Does that seem like, I think it was like a half page, was that?
I'm not entirely sure, I'd have to find out.
Oh, okay.
I think some of our others that we did outside of.
I think we should
A
focus
little bit.
more on, the Herald and the Keystone Monitor, because we'll get more people from here.
The Keystone Monitor is the Bradford Telegraph.
Well, they have different, don't they have a different one though? Doesn't
It's the Lake,
Telegraph
it's the,
has a different,
yeah, the Lake Region Monitor is.
right.
is part of the Bradford Telegraph.
It's part of, but they have two
separate.
separate,
Yes.
they have two separate magazines, or two separate newspapers really.
Correct.
One's going to Stark, one's going to Keystone.
Correct.
I think we really need to focus only on the ones that are going to Keystone. Because I think Facebook will probably, and Instagram will probably capture the more of the surrounding areas, rather than trying to put publications into the papers of all the different other cities. It's just that kind of expense, we could do, we could be at $2,000 in a minute, by trying to incorporate all the other little cities you know, Palaca and all the rest, you know. So I'm thinking we concentrate more on those other newspapers. But
Do you have something for the Chautauqua already made up?
we do.
Okay, because if you can send it to me, I can go ahead and start posting it.
Well, the dates and all will need to be changed,
Okay.
okay? But that's, the content is there, it's already done up. And that will again save us a lot of money because all we're doing is I can go back to Katie Payne, ask her to redo it, so all we do is change the date on that. We can use the exact same format, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. It will cost us a whole lot less, and then we can take that to the printer, but you could put it all together and get it over to Copy Cabana, because they're the ones that copy it.
Okay.
So I'll send everything to you,
Okay.
when I get it back from Katie Payne,
Sounds good.
okay?
Did we ever have this, I know we were talking about, I apologize, Madam Chair, did we already have the discussion about trying to go for the, Clay County Tourism Grant, the advertising grants that they have available for events?
I think at one point we did talk about that, but we don't have a grant writer.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know that it's that complicated for those. I'll take the note back and take a look at it. You have to be targeting outside of, I wanna say it's like 50 miles. Ultimately, the goal for the grant is to stimulate folks to come into the area and maybe stay in hotels. It's different for Keystone. It's
Right.
better for broader Clay County. But I think there's an opportunity. I just don't know if we're beyond the submission timeline for those or the application, or if we even want to try
I think we should
to advertise
try.
in that area.
I think we should try. We definitely wanna pick up people that are outside of 50-mile radius if we can. If it's an easy grant and it gets submitted, and we would definitely qualify because of what we're doing to increase, even though we don't have beds per se, but increase traffic into the Keystone Heights area. That would be great. We also need to really concentrate and advertise with our flyers over at the RV Center, because that is exactly our demographic that would come for tour of homes, the Chautauqua, and there's quite a few people over there that would be interested in what we have to offer from the Heritage Commission. So that's really, we might even wanna go and do a talk over, you know, meet with some of the people over there, because Kim and I are on the Friends of Keystone Heights group. We have, the Mayor's Ball event over there, so we have the contacts for everyone at the RV place. Maybe what we do is, let me know who would wanna be involved in that, and we can go over and do a presentation. Line that up maybe a month prior and do a presentation to everyone in the RV park about, our Chautauqua event.
They have a coffee talk or something.
Yeah, exactly. Now on to the 4th grade field trip, that's coming up, and even though it's 3 months away, time flies. And there's a lot to do given the fact that we have, members on the Heritage Commission that has not done the 4th grade field trip. And so let me just give you a quick synopsis. We all first meet at the pavilion over in the park, and the students will file in. They will actually walk from the elementary school to the pavilion with their with parents as guides and teachers. I'll give a brief history of Keystone Heights, and then I'll introduce the mayor. The mayor will then start the program. From there, there's 5 stations. I will be probably at the pavilion with Helen. Since she's not here, we'll just go ahead and give her a task. So we will ask Miss Helen if she would like to be the person in charge of the roundtable discussion. She did that last year at our first annual Chautauqua event. It was excellent. It was one of my favorite programs. And that is where we had a lot of senior members of our community sit down in a round table discussion and just talk about Keystone and their experiences, and it really was a lively discussion. It
So,
was,
are we doing-
it was great.
Are we talking about the 4th grade trip for the Chautauqua?
The fourth grade.
The 4th grade trip.
Oh, we're
Okay,
talking
yeah,
about the fourth
yeah,
grade
fourth
trip.
grade
Thank
trip.
you,
We're
thank
gonna
you.
take you backwards just a
We
bit.
are taking me backwards, because I saw Helen and then I was thinking she did the round table. Thanks. Anyway, there's 5 stations. Helen and I will be at the pavilion. Then Kat will be at, I'm thinking City Hall.
Okay.
All the kids go from the pavilion over to City Hall. They do a mock, council meeting, if you will.
So be here.
It'll be here, so the mayor will kind of introduce herself, and then that starts the program, and then the kids will come in here, the mayor will come over and sit at her seat, and the other council members will hopefully be here as well. And then they just kind of go through a mock, what it would be like to have a real council meeting. So the kids get to really learn about, a little bit about civics and government. And then from there, they leave this building and they go over to the Moon Tree. We need to find perhaps an associate member to be at the Moon Tree. We did have Glenn at one time doing that, and there was someone else, but I'll have to follow up and find out who did the Moon Tree for, in the past years. From there, the kids go to the Welcome Center and over to the gazebo in the park across the street. There that they learn about the Keystone Historic Inn. Now there is a plaque over there, but since they're 4th graders and they're 9 years old, they're not going to have the, well, they're not going to want to read the plaque. So you have to make it really exciting and interesting. What I've done in the past is I've put up a table inside the gazebo, and then I have everything about the historic inn sitting out and on easels or pictures, and then I just tell them a little bit about the historic inn. You want to keep it light, obviously. They're 9, so just ask a lot of questions, but how much do you think a room would have cost back in the day, that kind of thing, and they all say $100, and you say, no, it's 3. So that kind of thing, and whoever is over there, I can give them some pointers. We'll go into a lot more detail prior to this, but I just want to give everyone a kind of a big picture.
Are you gonna have the Shadow Riders again?
The Shadow Riders,
The,
411 thing?
Fort 11.
the cavalry that you guys had for the, that were shooting off the,
Okay.
Oh, you mean at the,
at the 4th grade?
yeah,
Were they the Shadow Riders?
no,
Oh.
but we did have someone shooting off, a cannon. We're gonna look into whether that person will be available. I've briefly talked to him about it, but haven't got confirmation. But we will come up with a plan B if that doesn't happen. And so there's items needed for each station.
I'm
We
sorry.
can hear
I
you.
said the ultimate plan would be me with a potato gun or something like that.
So there's items needed for each station to like try and draw the children in and get them involved tactily. So at the end, we do have a historic, it's the actual historic stamp, it's an embosser. You can actually order those now online to emboss your books and whatnot. I'm thinking we need to get a replica, because if 150 kids do this every year, you know, I don't want to use that one anymore. I'd rather show it to them and then show them what it was like and have a replica. And this way we could order maybe 2 or 3 and we could have them all doing it at once, because otherwise it's a really long line. The kids are broken down into groups, so there are approximately 20 children per group. And so each group is coming to the stations, they're moving in stations, that's why there's 5 different stations, so they're rotating through this. And the cannon was our way of knowing when they needed to move to the next station. So we'll come up with like plan B if that doesn't work. And then we need to order the stamp for the inn, and I'll get with Wendy about that. So that you can, I guess, do you want us to order it, or do you want to order it because you get so I don't think Amazon is going to be looking at our tax.
Either way.
Okay, okay. You know, our tax exempt.
And I have the PowerPoint that I put together for the book on my
Okay.
computer.
Oh, great,
I kept it.
good,
So,
good. We can probably
For the
talk
Andy.
about that. Yeah, for the
For the
Andy,
Andy.
yeah. And then we give all of the children, of which we will need to be packaging up ourselves, we put that all together. We have all of the kids go home with a goodie bag. We do put a stamp on the front that has like the Keystone seal on it. You know, we just stamp it on the front of the little bags, and then inside the bag, in the past, we've had the Andy book. You've seen it, right? We have Keystone Heights pencils. We have arrowheads. We have the Heritage Commission brochure, which we should have in there, which we do need to update, which reminds me. But the Heritage Commission brochure, because I'm sure the parents are going through these goodie bags with the children when they get them home. And when you think there's 120 new students coming through the school system, if 120 additional parents see, oh, this is the Heritage Commission, this is what we do when we meet. I think it's important that even though the students are not going to read that, care about it, the parents will care about it. And then when we were over doing inventory, we found a whole box of the city wooden coins, and it looked to me like we had a seal, and then they were just literally put onto each of the wooden coins. So it looked like we had maybe 50 of the wooden coins left. So I think we just need to order an additional 100 maybe of those coins. I don't know how many of the Andy workbooks we have, or Andy books we have left, or the pencils and arrowhead. So if we could get a count on any of those items that might be in the back there that we don't have, then we'll know how many to order. And then that's kind of a bird's eye view of what goes on for the 4th grade field trip. And really it's just deciding where you want to be at which of those stations. And a good thing to do would be to go back and in these manuals, I put together a debrief of the Chautauqua event as well as the 4th grade field trip, and that will really bring you up to speed on how it really runs. So, and of course you can always call me and ask me questions about how that runs or what role you want to take. Obviously it's 3 months away, but we need to have this conversation now so that we can start thinking about it. And then same with the Chautauqua event. We do need to have, after the 4th grade field trip, we will need to have a planning workshop on that, or maybe even one prior to the 4th grade field trip, because there's a lot of pieces with Chautauqua that really involves bringing people in. The 4th grade field trip is already set up. We know who to contact. They're setting up the students. We know they will be coming here, how this will lay out. But with Chautauqua, this is going to be our 2nd annual, and so there's a lot of information that we need to disseminate between us, so that we can start advertising months in advance start putting it onto, Facebook and Instagram, as we talked about. And we need to get speakers, we need to get music for the event. We need food trucks, which I can talk to Drew about. We need artists that are gonna be doing art out in the open, it's called plein air. And then we need to tag all the items that we need to pull for the pop-up museum piece of the Chautauqua. So there's really two things happening. We have the pop-up museum and all the artifacts that have to go into the pavilion, as well as all of the people that are going to be coming to the event. So now's a good time to think about who would want to be taking on finding speakers, or music, or artists for this event. And keep in mind that arts, education, recreation, and religion were kind of the four pillars of the Chautauqua, but also people talking about health and music was as much of a part of the Chautauqua event. So, anybody wanting to work on getting speakers?
I don't know either, though. I'm gonna,
I can ask around.
Okay.
I think we should put it on, like on a Facebook thing too, a call
Yeah.
out. I'm
But
gonna
we
have
have to
food truck.
know, we have to know what we're wanting speakers to talk about.
Right, I'm gonna have food truck people from the Friends of Keystone event, so I can check
Talk
on
to them,
that too.
okay, food trucks,
Now, are the speakers and the bands, are they volunteering their time? Is that how that works?
well, the speakers are,
Okay.
usually. I don't know what we did last year with music. I think we had just one person that was like playing a guitar or something. Drew had contacted someone and he was willing to do it, you know, just for the city.
Okay.
But I suspect that we will need to pay someone, if we're going to bring in, say a jazz band or a band that's playing music from the 20s or something like that. So, maybe contact Steve Hart and see if he knows anyone that would be, have jazz, or we can find someone. We can look at our list from last year at Friends, cause we went through a lot of musicians that we talked to. So we'll figure out the music piece, but they'll need to be contacted, so we can always give you like here, call these 6 people.
Yeah, I
and
can.
see and get prices, that kind of thing. And then the artists, the plein air artists, I'll work on finding some people to do that. I'd like to have like 3 or 4, so it looks like we really have a lot of people out there.
What about, what is his name, Luke?
Luke.
Luke.
Mhm. Yeah, we can
Did the-
contact Luke,
The
who
Dirty
did the
Palette might have
mural.
people.
What's that?
The Dirty Palette might
That's a
have
good
people.
idea.
On the Dirty Palette might have people.
And Melrose.
Melrose, the 2 art
Center.
galleries
Yeah,
would have people too.
Okay. Yeah, we just want people out there, and maybe we ask them to pick a theme, like anything that's in, you know, at the beach, to be, you know, they're doing plein air, so it would be all pictures of the lakes, if they're out there painting, you know, live, if you will, and they'll be doing pictures of the lakes, or the pavilion, or kids playing, or that kind of thing, so.
so you were talking about a workshop And I don't think right after fourth grade trip is gonna work because
It's
it is
right
right
after
after
that,
that.
yeah.
I think we actually need a couple
We may-
of workshops and
What does everyone's February schedule look like? Maybe towards, before our, next meeting?
Well,
Or you have a busy schedule?
I do.
Well, the Saturday before is Valentine's Day. I'm like,
No, that's not gonna work for most people.
so maybe before.
What about the 7th?
I'm good.
Or we can always do it
No,
at
the
the
7th
night.
I'm an evening.
swamped.
yeah, I
Have
we
the
do an
women's
evening.
club.
We could do an evening during the week.
Yeah, can we do that? I
Yeah,
don't have many Saturdays left anymore
Yeah.
right now, so.
I mean, do you wanna do something on a Wednesday?
sure. Wednesday
11th?
evening?
Mhm.
Can you do Wednesdays?
11th.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What time and where?
What time would be convenient, like for you to get off of work and then meet?
If it's in Keystone Heights, at least 5:30.
Okay, so we would probably have to be here if it's a workshop, correct?
Can we do 5:30 or 6?
Well, I mean,
Just-
generally, I mean, it's easier for us to record so we can get minutes and all that. This is the easiest facility that we don't have to set up and run the craziness of audio and all that sort of
Right.
stuff.
Okay,
And I was just checking our calendar. I think we're fine on Wednesday, the 11th.
okay. And if we kept our own minutes, that would alleviate like Bo and everybody from having to be here?
Dude, if y'all want to generate your own minutes,
Well, we
we're
could
in
kind
support.
of, well, we could just
Yes, ma'am.
do an audio on our phone and kind of give you a rough draft, as long as we're advertising that it's a workshop.
Mhm.
I mean, I hate to pull you all back in here for every workshop that we have,
Yeah,
but, you know, I'm thinking that if we had a key, we could just come in, lock up, and, you know, it might be easier on staff.
we could, I was just, because we see how the airport authority operates that way. One of their board members takes and, generates the minutes for them. So I don't see any reason why y'all can't do that as well.
Okay,
And, the YouTube is nice, but it is not a requirement. Audio recordings are not a requirement by the sunshine laws, the state laws. The only requirements of a sunshine body are that you have to have a publicly noticed meeting.
right,
That notice generally not requires, most people implement that public notice via an agenda.
right,
And then, as long as you hold a publicly available meeting and a location's publicly available and you produce minutes, you're within the Florida statute requirements.
so we could do it here,
Mhm.
and then that would work for everybody?
Okay, 6
Um,
o'clock
6.
on
6
February.
o'clock on
Wednesday, February 11th.
Wednesday, February 11th. Heritage Commission Workshop on Chautauqua. Okay. Good plan. So February 11th at 6. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is updating the Heritage Commission brochures. We do have a trifold, or no, it's a 6-panel, that has some of the old houses on it, and it was originally meant as kind of an overview of everything that the Heritage Commission does. On the back page, it tells when we meet. I don't have one right here in front of me to show you, but I believe there's some out there. We just need to work on that at some point, and redo that whole thing, because it's just really outdated. And that's just a project I think we need to take on, because if we're going to be putting them out at Chautauqua events, and putting them out at the Yesteryears Festival, and putting them into the goodie bags for the 4th grade field trip, they need to be updated. So that's kind of our advertising, and, I think we need to work on that, so. Jen also proposed a photo album through the years, so Jen, would you like to talk about that?
Sure. Am I on? Cause I don't know how to.
If you got a green light,
Yes.
then you're on.
Oh, great.
Just remember.
So what I noticed is when I was at the Chautauqua, museum the pop-up museum, is all the yearbooks, and I know Tony Brown had came in with the firefighter yearbooks, which was awesome. I wish we had something for the police department, we would love to see the history on that. And so just seeing all these photos, and then I realized it's like, I feel like we just have time that's missed, and we don't have any more photos. We don't really print photos. And so everybody has them on your phone, that's great, but for history, we don't have anything. And no one's gonna, I mean, honestly, it's great that we have Facebook, but I don't sit there a year later trying to like, what was, you know?
Right.
So I thought of recreating several different, photo albums, one for the police department, one for the fire department, and one for our town, for showcasing all the different events that we've done. So one day, our kids, grandkids, and everybody else can see it. And that was my thoughts, is to put
I
some
think it's
sort of
Great idea.
yearbooks together.
Yeah,
So
I
we
think
keep
it's
the
great.
tradition going.
Would be really cool to ask each organization to get involved with it too. Like Friends of Keystone Heights, how many events have we had now?
Right.
What pictures do we have out there? I mean, I actually was
Well,
gonna
we
bring
can
one
bring
here.
all those photos to Jen, like the mayor's ball and all of those, spring fling, all that, and we can give those to Jen, because she's gonna take on this project.
Yeah, I love it. I'm like, I'm excited.
My phone has 14,000 plus photos on it.
I have 100 and something, so.
Yeah.
You see me, I'm like photo.
This is gonna stitch all of her photos together.
But we can
She's got
send
most of
them,
it.
we can send them to you,
Yeah.
so that you can have like a head start on it, and I know that you've already been taking photos,
Yeah.
you know, of the city for so long, so that would be like an excellent project for you, and it would be fantastic for us. And again, when I was over at Flagler Museum, they had a photos album, not just the kids, like high school yearbooks, but they also had photo albums, kind of, I didn't open any myself, but I'm thinking probably similar to what you have, and then they had them all dated by year. And then they had a whole wall of what went on, like the main events that happened in each of the years,
Wow.
all the way across the wall. Joni was with me.
Yeah, it was fantastic,
Yeah,
really was.
yeah, so that was a really good trip. If you look to your right, at the far end, you will see Miss Hersey's name tag. What we discovered while we were having our inventory, we've discovered a lot of things in that inventory box. That every single person on the Heritage Commission from the beginning of time, except right now, has had that name tag. So if you look at which was kindly written, I know, but the paper one, it would be really nice if we had ones that were similar to the one that Helen has. So at one time, everyone on the council had a name tag, on the commission rather, had a name tag. And so I thought we could order for additional name tags. And since it is coming out of our budget, I figured we probably needed to vote on that. So if somebody would like to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to, get new name plates.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
We do have bases that are at the storage unit already. There were what, a handful of the little bases that they sit in.
And it's there, I brought the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we
actually,
don't
that's
need
what
the
it is.
base.
We don't need the
Don't
bases.
need the
We
base.
just need the name.
Yeah, you just, and you have a source for them?
I do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Cause I know
don't need,
these are
But you know.
way more expensive than you wanna pay
Yeah.
around your budget, so those make sense.
Yeah, and we don't need the base, because there's a dozen of them up there.
Perfect.
So, okay, well, great. Let's see. Are there any public comments?
I apologize. No, unless anybody in the room wishes to speak, there are no registered comments that were submitted.
Okay, well, thank you.
Sorry, I was writing notes down about the.
And thank you, everyone who came this evening, I appreciate that. Member comments?
No comment. I think we're doing a fantastic job. I look forward to this year and excited to, see where we go.
Agreed. Oh, do we have a way to back up and take a look at the minutes from the last meeting, because we don't have them? So we can approve those and get those off the table
Oh, was it just access onto the agenda?
for last meeting.
Yep. Yeah, if you
I
want to pause
looked
the.
I looked this afternoon and they weren't on there.
Oh, they weren't linked?
I emailed with everybody. Oh, I didn't see them.
Did you email them today?
No, when I finished them.
I think, I know I've read them, but maybe I read them from the month before. Let's see.
We're trying, and I'm not sure when Wendy emailed them out, we're trying to
I
get
checked
them
to
emailed
see if
out
there
so
were-
folks can send us comments and make edits.
Right.
So we don't have to do them in these meetings.
Got it.
I was just gonna see,
I get so many from Wendy. Just,
we have been having some
No.
issues with agenda items, sometimes from outside cell phones, mobile devices.
Right,
We've had some problems, folks, and even myself, trying to get to the link, and we think we've figured that out for future agendas. Is there any-
And I'm having trouble with the Outlook connection, so. I thought I had a
Yeah.
plugin, but it's not pulling up the Outlook anymore. And if I try to do it, it says sign into your 365 account, but.
and I get so many emails from Wendy.
Yep, hold on, let me see, I think we do have the meeting minutes published. So they're up on the agenda, and my phone actually got through to them.
Okay, it wasn't there this morning, 'cause I went online and I looked.
And the link wasn't there underneath the
It
agenda?
was not there.
Okay. I can hear Wendy's got the printer fired up.
Yeah, that way we can approve them.
Yeah, because I can't get into this.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with my Heritage Commission, email now, but,
Yeah, now I do. I can't get it to sign in.
Do you know when we got you set up, do you use like a
Authenticator.
city authenticator and all that, or? Cause we can get you linked up with New River, our tech support, if I can get you a phone number if you just wanna give them a call tomorrow, if you've been having problems getting on.
Yeah, if you want to give me the number,
Yep.
then
I'll get it written down for you.
yeah, my problem is I have multiple Microsoft accounts. So a lot of times they piggyback and then kicks one of them off, so I think that's what happened.
still making record time,
1 minute.
trying to keep it under.
Making up for
trying
the
to keep it
last
under an
meetings
hour.
that we've gotten out early.
We used to have meetings that were.
Contact number written down real quick before I should.
But we will not, we can use this money in different ways this year.
Mhm.
And ladies, if any of y'all, you know, I can give this to any of y'all in case you have any problems getting onto your city email. Just gonna announce it on the phone, but, or excuse me, announce it
Right.
on YouTube.
For the field trip, what time does that normally kick off? On the fourth grade? 9,
And we're,
so we're here earlier.
And then you guys ended in.
It was,
Yeah, it was like
around
1, because the kids are still out there eating their lunch and then we would start walking, yeah. And then we just go around and start cleaning up, like each station, you know, taking things
It
down.
opened for me too.
Putting in the car. But still, it's almost a full day. You know, till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Oh, thank you.
I'm just gonna take a glance real quick at
Yes.
what I wrote down.
Mm. Our annual meeting in December. Oh, we have to get the t-shirts.
nope, this looks good.
Yeah, I move that we accept the minute as written.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's have it. You'll have your t-shirts. Name tags. Yay.
And we'll soon have a wonderful.
And soon,
Yes.
people will know that you're not just chicken scratch on a piece of paper. That's great.
And maybe I'll remember where to take my name tag off the refrigerator where I leave it so I can always see it and forget to wear it.
Oh, which reminds me, when we do the field trip, it will be a lot warmer and we'll wanna have our, Heritage Commission black, t-shirts on, wear black pants if you can, and that way, you know, it's clear that we're on the commission. And then anyone that's, wanting to help as volunteers, if they can wear a black shirt or black, then it just helps identify all of us as working on the, on that group. Committee. Yes, meeting is adjourned.